Hi, it's Tim Hagen from Progress Coaching, and welcome to another episode of Coaching Conversations. And I wanted to make you aware of something very cool that we're doing on a subscription basis, and we'll put a link in each one of our episodes. But every Wednesday, we're going to be doing what we call an audio podcast workshop. That workshop will be roughly about 14 to maybe 20 minutes per episode, with each month having a theme from a coaching model, using feedback strategically, to coaching self-awareness, and so on. So if you could look in the body or in the content description of each episode, and you will see a link where you can join this subscription. These are literally 4 workshops every month teaching specific strategies to address a particular area of workplace coaching as it relates, again, to things like awareness, motivation, teamwork, and what have you. Here's the cool thing. It's only $10 per month, and each month you will get a handout that we will follow along with. So we also give you a tool for you to take notes as we go through each episode. We hope you'll check it out.
When coaching people who are resistant, one of the things we have to decipher is there a willingness to get better? So yesterday I got a call from a longtime friend and a former client who was talking about an employee that they were coaching. And during our conversation, my friend said, we role play, we practice interactions with customers, with internal teammates, and she does a great job. And I said, well, that's interesting. I said, why are you role playing so much? And she said, well, I think she really needs to practice these conversations. I said, oh, I absolutely agree with you. I said, I love what you're doing. I said, so does she still exhibit some of the behaviors that you're talking about not being a team player, being impulsive, being rude, being disruptive? And she said, yes. And I said, okay. I said, so think about that for a second. She has the ability, yet she still exhibits the behaviors. So what she has is potentially an impulse disorder, or she's made the decision, whether consciously or subconsciously, just to continue to do it. So what we did is we crafted out a very unique approach. So my friend's going to sit down with this person and literally use something called a rule of engagement, where you control the conversation. So if you have people who are disruptive, I typically call them yeah, but Bob. When people are like, well, yeah, but, and they interrupt you, what they're doing is they're shutting themselves off, not only from listening, but probably from looking in the mirror. Most people do not look in the mirror. Let me add a little humor to this. When was the last time someone said, boss, I've been really looking in the mirror lately, and I got to tell you, my attitude and motivation level is terrible. Now, I bet you're laughing a little bit, but wouldn't that be nice if they actually did that? So when we're having these conversations, we have to be very conscientious of one thing. Are they willing to get better? And a lot of times, the only way to find out is to control the conversation, to give them a chance. Let me walk you through the technique. You sit down with yeah, but Bob and say, Bob, today I'm going to give you some insight, and I would love your permission to give you visibility to some areas where I think you and I have an awesome opportunity to really raise our game in terms of teamwork, collaboration, cooperation, whatever you want to say. Then, when you're having that conversation, that employee is going to want to start talking. And you ask the employee to do something very unique. You literally say, Bob, I'm going to give you some feedback. I'm going to give you some insight. And what I want you to do is take some time. I've taken a lot of time to prepare for this conversation, and I owe you the same thing. So instead of just thrusting it upon them, you're literally letting them know, I want to give you time to think. What you're really doing is controlling their response. And you literally say, Bob, and I don't want you to respond. I want you to just assimilate, digest, absorb what I'm saying. And I literally don't want you to respond. I kind of want to, Bob, I actually don't want you to respond at all. And I know it's a little unfair, but I think this will really help our conversation. He typically will agree. You say, okay, great, here's the feedback. Now, Bob, what I'd love to have you do is just write this stuff down that you heard, put it on a piece of paper, notebook. Then below that, I want you to come back, let's say Thursday at 2:00. Let's continue the conversation and share with me what you're willing to do to alter the perception that you wrote down in your notebook. So what that's called is a self-actualized question. It's a what question plus a success imperative. Essentially what time does, it erodes their yeah, but impulsive disorder. When you have people write things down in a journal or a piece of paper, they tend to own it more. They see it. Actually, the piece of paper serves as a mirror. And then you give them an accountability action. And then as I want you to come back and share with me what you're going to do to successfully alter or fight the perception that you wrote down in your notebook. Good luck.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Coaching Conversations by Tim Hagen and Progress Coaching. Now, our company is always coming out with new and innovative solutions to help leaders coach their employees. And recently, we just created a new service called Coach to You, where leaders can pick and choose topics and assign 7 to 21-day programs for employees to learn and, more importantly, apply actions and then reflect and share what they're going to do going forward as a result of the learning. It's called Coach to You. We're literally bringing coaching to your employees. If you're intrigued, we'll have a link in each one of our episodes where you can get more information. And again, thank you so much for listening to another episode.